Hey guys, in tonight's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a very terrifying mod pack. So terrifying that you're going to be wetting your bed for the next week straight. I'm going to give a big thanks to Asian Half Squad for the entire video idea. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first mod you're going to want to get is the Lost Cities mod, and change your world generation to only cities. What this is going to do is make it so that your entire world is nothing but abandoned building for thousands of miles. And I love this personally because it just adds a really creepy abandoned effect that really makes it feel like you're in a zombie apocalypse. So the next mod you're going to be getting is Optifine. Now Optifine is essential for the shaders we're going to be using in this video, but it also just helps with FPS wise with any mod pack. With this installed, you're going to turn on dynamic lighting, and you can shorten your render distance down to about 8 or 10. You're just not going to need it much higher with the settings that we're going for in this video. So for the shaders, we're going to be installing Chocapic version 8 beta shaders. You're also going to need to change a couple settings within the shaders. At the bottom right in shader options, go to atmospheric, fog density, and then we're going to be cranking atmospheric density all the way up to 15. This is going to make it so that everything is really foggy and makes it hard to see, especially at night. The next thing we're going to change is we're going to go into lighting, sky, sun and moon, and we're going to change moon illuminance to about 10 or 20. This is going to make it so it's really dark at night and make it a lot harder to see. The last setting we're going to change is also in lighting. It's under ambient, and we're going to change the min lighting amount just to 0. This is going to make it so that inside all the buildings or away from anywhere that has any sun or moonlight, it's going to be absolutely pitch black with absolutely nothing to see. After you've applied all those settings, you can go ahead and turn off the daylight cycle, and you can change your time to anywhere between 14,000 to 18,000. Either or really works for the setting that we're going to be creating in this video. So the next mod we're going to be installing is Dynamic Surroundings. This mod's going to be adding a bunch of ambient sounds to our world that just makes it that little bit more creepier. It also adds a nice amount of ambience to buildings and caves, which make it sound a little more realistic when you're entering those. Next up, we're going to be installing the Skyrim Soundpack. I think the Soundpack fits in perfectly with the theme, and it makes a lot of the mobs, especially zombies, sound a lot scarier when you're walking around in the dark. On the topic of zombies, next up, we're going to be installing the Tissou's Zombie Pack. This pack makes zombies just look a lot more realistic because the regular zombies aren't really that scary. Another cool thing that this resource pack does is actually make it so that their eyes glow in the dark, which is a really nice effect, especially in buildings and in caves when you can't see anything but their glowing eyes in the distance. Since 1.16.4 doesn't actually have mobends yet, I have an alternative solution. It is the Scary Spiders Resource Pack by I'm Willin. This pack simply just makes it so that the spider's legs bend like they do in the mobends mod. I think it adds a nice aesthetic and makes spiders a lot creepier. The next mod we're going to be adding is Spiders 2.0. This mod goes really well with not only the Spider Resource Pack, but it also just has a ton of features itself that make spiders really interesting. Spiders can climb on walls and do all sorts of things that spiders should be able to do in this mod. So the next mod we're going to be installing is Enhanced Visuals. This mod's really unique because it actually changes the overall look that you see while walking around, and it shows a lot of effects when they're applied to you. The reason we're using it in this video is actually for the effects it has when taking damage. When you start to take damage, your screen will get all bloody, and when you're really low on health, you'll start to hear your own heartbeat and everything will start going blurry. So next up, we're going to be adding the music player mod. This mod fits perfectly in the mod pack because it allows us to play music while we're going around doing our business. So you can go ahead and boot up any sort of scary ambient song that you want, and it's going to be playing in the background. I think this fits perfectly because it makes the setting a lot more scary. Alright, so the next mod we're going to be adding is MrCrayfish's vehicle mod. With this mod installed, you're going to be able to hop on an ATV or any type of vehicle that you want, and I think it's just going to make traveling through the city a lot easier. And funny side note, with this mod installed, you basically become the Hulk because you can pick up any vehicle you want. The next mod we're going to be adding is Gun Customization Infinity. This mod adds 6 new weapons that you can customize by putting whatever you want on it, like scopes, mags, anything. I think this mod fits in perfectly with the modern theme of an apocalypse. The next mod we're going to be adding is the Zombie Extreme mod. Now this mod adds a bunch of content. Primarily, it adds 18 different types of zombies that you'll be able to find while you're going along in the city. These zombies are going to create a big challenge while you're trying to survive out there. Another thing this mod does is actually add a couple weapons of its own. It adds a bunch of melees and a few guns too. The next mod we're going to be adding is Doctor Who's Weeping Angels. This mod adds the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who into Minecraft. These enemies are only going to move towards you when you're not looking at them. I think this makes the pack a little more scary because you never know when you're going to turn the corner and there'd be a statue. So the next mod we're going to be installing is Eyes in the Darkness. Now this mod was actually made to scare you. All this mod really does is add creepy floating eyes that you can come across really anywhere. I think it's a nice effect and it has the potential to jump scare you if you aren't being careful. The second last mod on our list is WhisperWoods. This mod adds 5 new mystical like creatures to your game. All 5 of them give it a creepy aura whenever you're exploring. My favorite mob personally is the Hide Behind. It acts a lot like a weeping angel, except for the fact that it is like 8 feet tall and is terrifying to come across. The last mod on our list is terrifying. It is CAZfps The Dead Sea. This mod is literally built off of the fear of children. It is terrifying. This mod adds an entirely new dimension that has a couple biomes in them. The biomes in this mod are terrifying. You'll come across empty forests with dead bodies hanging from them, cities that seem to just be abandoned. You'll come across some of the scariest mobs while walking around. One of the mobs, called the Screamer, is terrifying. It makes your screen go really static when approaching, and it just makes the most awful sounds I've ever heard. This mod almost deserves a video of its own, but I think it fits perfectly just for someone who wants to get really scared. Alright, now that we've installed all these mods, I'm going to show a bit of gameplay to show how truly scary this mod pack can be. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. Big thanks to Asian Hop Squad for the entire inspiration. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. It's free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. If you guys ended up liking this video, please give me ideas in the comments. I'm open for ideas for some other mod pack. So anyway, thanks for watching.